So the saluting and the imperatives that are used in the secret space program, or it's what we refer to it here, but you know, on ships flying around out there doing, you know, transport, surveying, you know, space battles, you know, whatever it is. How do people in a military structure, in a regiment, in one of those ships, you know, how do they salute each other? How do they, you know, how does it work? So this is actually a little bit high level thing, because it's not something that has been fully realized by, you know, human culture, but other species that are a little bit further along than us, when they greet each other, they will not use any kind of like salute like we will use it. And I think some people in the secret space program, they will know this too. So there are basically some gestures that we naturally do, and some things in our language and some habits that we have that are basically like opening up our critical factor in our consciousness, in our mind. So if you know a little bit about hypnosis, then you know that we have the conscious mind, or, you know, beta level, just expressing ourselves, and then beneath that we have the critical factor, and then beneath that there's the subconscious mind. That is who we are, who we perceive to be, you know, I. That is the subconscious mind. If someone can get through your critical factor and into your subconscious mind, they can pretty much make you do anything, you know, depending on how deep they've gotten in there. So a lot of these things that are normal for us, you know, like saluting and you know, various different imperative greetings that we have, because as soon as we react to those, it's opening up the critical factor, and then it gives someone the chance to sneak in there into your subconscious mind if they so please. So that's why it's important to know how to be very neutral, and that's how a lot of people greet each other in regiments, even to the captain, to whoever, like this. And that's it, because both people are now aiming towards neutrality, you know, whereas if you salute someone, me saluting you, that can actually, you know, if you salute me and I react to that, that can actually open up my critical factor. That can let you get in there, you know, or vice versa. Some of these things, it's quite hard for us human beings to fix that. So that's why we have to be careful when we use certain things that's quite natural to us. It can give someone else the opportunity to come in and actually mess with us, you know. It's not to say that, you know, there are ships out there that are sort of a little bit old school and that's just their niche, you know, but they are aware of this, and they are, you know, they're aware of this, and so they're able to do that without having it create any bad habit that allows other people to get in, you know. Because they're aware of it, and they're able to go back to their neutrality and the rest of their psionic shield protect them. So yeah, be careful. Do not open up your critical factor, because it gives people the ability to sneak in. You know, you may look like you may come across like you're being rude or arrogant, but actually you're not. And there's ways to let the person know that there are ways you can do this. You can protect your critical factor without coming across as rude or arrogant. So that's what you can find out, you know. But generally, it's also when you're walking on the street, and your friend comes up and tries to greet you, and it's basically, we have learned in our culture that it is customary to open up your critical factor and react to that, and let pretty much people can make you do a lot of things before your critical factor kicks in and it's like, hey, what's going on? Hey, fuck off, piss off. And you can see they do this on, like my flatmate was just telling me about this, one of his YouTube channels that he loves to watch, and I can't remember, Balls of Steel, I think it is. And there's one where a guy, he's just on the street and everyone's walking around. He has to see how long he can jump on someone and get a piggyback ride for, how long he can stay on before they say, hey man, fuck off, like get off my back, How long will that person let their not even think critically about what's going on and just be controlled by like a puppet? I think his record was something like 60 seconds, like a minute or something like that. That's too long, man. And I think everyone was allowing him to ride on his back for like at least 10-15 seconds before they actually did something, So that is quite that's a problem for us human beings. We would be really played like ants by other conscious, higher, more evolved conscious people and beings and entities out there, So we got to be careful with that. It feels like there's some entities right now. I feel like they're quite good. Feels like there's like one kind of good one and then one sort of maybe slightly demonic or something. But that we were working together, that it's okay, and there's a balance here. So hopefully that's okay. Yeah. As I was saying, the critical factor, we've got to be careful with that, not to open up our critical factor and let someone in there, unless we know them really, 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 really well, then you can do that. And it's an extreme example is on the sexual level, like when you open up to another being sexually, that is actually a very deep level. More on that later. I can say quite a few things on that. So you just have to be careful not to open up your critical factor. Keep your guard up, even if it makes you seem arrogant or rude. At the start, don't react to people. If they try to do something, stop it immediately. Just keep your mind sharp, and not unless you really know another. It doesn't matter whether they're a human being, an entity, AI, or whatever it is. Always keep your critical factor guard up.